Hi there, this is a video about applications of systems of equations. All right, and so we've got this problem here. It's about photocopy. So Quick Copy recently charged 49 cents per page for color copies and 9 cents per page for black and white copies. If Shirley's bill for 90 copies was $12.90, how many copies of each type were made? So let's look at what the question is asking us, because one thing that we need to do is we need to develop our variables. All right. So how many copies of each type were made? So I'm going to let X represent the number of color copies. Okay. And then I'm going to let Y represent the number of black and white copies, okay? And I'm just creating this, all right? So a lot of the stuff with systems is that you have to look at the situation and create these things, okay? So that's what I've got, all right? I've created two variables, basically for, I want to know how many color copies and how many black and white copies there are. Okay, now here's what I know. If I take the number of color copies and add that to the number of black and white copies, I have a total of 90 copies, okay? Now the other thing is that if I take 49 cents per color copy, that means that I'm going to take 0.49x plus 9 cents per page for black and white copies. So that's 0.09y. If I take all that together, and remember, this is the amount of money paid for color copies, this is the amount paid for black and white, and we have paid a total of $12.90, okay? And so from here, what I want to do is solve this system of equations, okay? And you can use any method to solve this. What I usually like to do when I have numbers like this with decimals, I tend to want to do substitution. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my first equation, x plus y equals 90. I'm going to write that over here. And I'm going to solve this equation for y, okay? So I'm going to subtract x from both sides, all right? And so I have the secondary equation where y is equal to 90 minus x, okay? Once I have this, I'm going to substitute this into the y value of my other equation. So now I have 0.49x plus 0.09 times y, which is 90 minus x, and this is equal to $12.90. All right, so right now what I want to do is to do the math to solve this equation for x. Once I solve for x, I'll plug that back in up here and I will solve this equation for y. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute the 0.09 into that 90 minus x. So 0.49x plus 0.09 times 90 gives us 8.1 minus 0.09x, and that's equal to $12.90. Okay, let's combine our like terms. So 0.49 minus 0.09, so 0.49 minus 0.09 gives us 0.4. So I've got 8.1 plus 0.4x is equal to $12.90. All right, I'm going to subtract 8.1 from both sides. All right, so 12.9 minus 8.1, that's going to give me 4.8. So I've got 0.4x is equal to 4.8, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 0.4. All right, and so x is then going to equal 12. All right, so I've got 12, and let's think about what this meant. All right, 12 was the number of color copies. Okay, so I have 12 color copies. To find out what my y value is, I'm going to take this, I'm going to substitute it back into here. So I've got y is equal to 90 minus 12, which is going to give us 78. All right, so what we want to do is we want to answer the question, you know, how many color copies do we have? How many black and white copies we have? So we have 12 color copies and 78 black and white copies. And that's all we do. All right, that's how we answer that question. Okay. Okay, on this next question, we're talking about a bag of mixed nuts. All right, so O-Nuts sells pistachio kernels for $10 per pound and almonds for $8 per pound. How much of each type should be used to make a 50-pound mixture that sells for $8.80 per pound? Okay, this one's a little bit interesting, okay? So here's what we've got. All right, let's label our X and Y variables, okay? Let's have X be pistachios, and let's have that be the number of pounds. We know it costs $10 per pound, but we're trying to figure out how much, all right, how many pounds of pistachios am I going to need? So let's do the pounds of pistachios, all right? And then let's have Y be the pounds, the number of pounds of almonds, okay? So here's what I know, all right, is that if we take the number of pounds of pistachios, X, plus the number of pounds of almonds, Y, we're going to get a total amount of 50 pounds, okay? Now what we have to do is we have to figure out using the money, okay? And this is where it gets tricky because we're dealing with a mixture problem. And so from here, you know, we have $10 per pound of pistachios plus $8 times the pounds of almonds, okay? Now, this will make an $8.80 bag of 50 pounds of nuts. This is the crucial part. This is what's weird about that mixture, is that once we have that mixture of 50 pounds, it needs to cost $8.80, okay? And so let's go ahead and solve this equation system. Again, I'm going to use, I'm going to use substitution on this, but I'm going to rewrite my first equation because I need to take 8.8 and multiply it by 50. And so we get 10x plus 8y is equal to 440, okay? And so from here, you could use elimination because the numbers kind of work out nice and neat. So doesn't matter. I'm going to use substitution though. And so I'm going to take this equation, x plus y, and set that equal to 50. I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and we're going to get that y is equal to 50 minus x. Okay. So from here, I'm going to take this and I'm going to substitute that into my other equation for y. So from here, I'm going to do 10x plus 8 times the quantity, 50 minus x, and set that equal to 440. All right, let's distribute our 8 here. And so we're going to get 10x plus 400 minus 8x, and that's going to be equal to 440. All right, let's combine like terms on our left side. So 10x minus 8x gives us a total of 2x plus 400 is equal to 440. Now, if we subtract 400 from both sides, all right, then we're going to get that 2x is equal to 40. All right, divide both sides by 2 and by 2, so then we get that x is equal to 20. All right, so 20 pounds of pistachios. And then from there, all right, I'm going to plug this into this this equation here for y, and we get y is equal to 50 minus 20. So y is going to be equal to 30. All right, so to answer our question, all right, we will have 20 pounds of pistachios, all right, and 30 pounds of almonds. All right. And so that's how we would answer a mixture question. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.